Republic spared no expense to guard their precious game. They had 2 Jedi warriors guarding the entrance. Of course, it would take a lot more than 2 to stop me from talking with the developers. I shall strike you down! Damn, the Master sensed me coming. We are engaged. The Jedi tried to attack me from both sides. Pathetic. I easily blocked their attacks. I will get into that old Republic booth, and you're not gonna stop me. With your Padawan dead, you resort to your Force powers. It won't save you. My hatred and rage fuels my far superior power! Your death is at hand. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. You are nothing. And with that, the Jedi gods are no more. All too easy. The Star Wars Old Republic demo and interview is mine! Dark Joe here with James Olin of Star Wars The Old Republic. Clearly a Jedi sympathizer.
I guess so.
Will you talk to a Dark Lord?
I think I can make some time.
Okay, sweet. So tell us a little bit about what makes Star Wars The Old Republic different from any other MMO out there.
Well, our key innovation is bringing storytelling, BioWare style.
BioWare.
Yeah, to the MMO space. And really, I think it's about time, because MMORPGs has RPG in it, and story is a significant part of RPGs. So we want to bring that, story choice, full voice over the cinematic sense that you've seen in Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and Mass Effect and Dragon Age to the MMO space. And I think it really belongs there, and people are
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the full voice alone is making, because I've played MMOs like, I'm a MMO newbie, okay? I played Star Trek Online, was seriously disappointed. Some other MMOs, pretty much it seemed like it lacked life because I'm reading text all day long. Am I going to be reading text all day long in this game?
No, not at all. It's fully voiced game, so you get and it's
fully voiced.
Yeah, and that's actually not all of it, because all the scenes are cinematic as well. It's like you're in a movie basically, and you have a character in, and you get to decide how the movie's going to unfold. Of course, in a massively online world where there's thousands of other players as well, so that makes it doubly exciting.
Okay, since my name is actually Angry Joe, I'm gonna have to bring some hard questions. Are you ready for it?
I think so.
Okay, one of the complaints I get a lot, email after email, Joe, tell me, make sure you tell the developers that where the hell is KOTOR 3? Why aren't they making KOTOR 3? Me, I try to tell them, look, this is KOTOR 3, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, because there's 10 classes. But that's not true, is it? Because there's a few classes that start off at the same area and that share quests. So it's only 4 games in one, right?
Well, we have 8 classes, and while we do have 4 origin worlds that you start off with, so 2 classes on each of those worlds.
They share starting points, and they're the same story.
No, totally different stories. So if you have for example,
but they share quests, right?
They share world quests. We have 2 types of quests. We have your class quests, which are basically your personal quests, your personal story. Think of like, Luke Skywalker, meeting up with Obi-Wan and like learning the Force, and then like, his adventures on Hoth, and then going to train with Yoda. Those are kind of his own, and facing off with like Darth Vader on Bespin. That's just like personal story arc, and that would be the equivalent of our class quest. But then the greater conflict, the Walker battle on Hoth, the battle for the Death Star, all that stuff. You could kind of consider that to be like our world arc stories, and that's I
would expect a Hoth battle on Hoth.
Yes, but well, I can't talk about that right now, unfortunately.
But I'm saying that I got you. Did you hear that? No, but okay. So I'm trying to understand this. You're trying to tell me that I'm clearly a Sith. Okay, You're trying to tell me that the warrior does not share any Sith quests or warrior quests with the Inquisitor.
Not at all.
They share world quests, but every single story quest is their own.
Yep, all their class quests are their own. So basically, and all the way to the end of the game. So you have your own. It's like essentially you're playing your own KOTOR story. And the great thing about it is it's totally tailored to your class. Because the thing about Knights of the Old Republic, and actually every Bioware game, is we always had to pick kind of like one single archetype, and it always has to be the good archetype. And it kind of has to follow a certain conventions.
Yeah.
But with Star Wars: The Old Republic, we got to tell Han's story, style of story, or Darth Vader's style of story, or Boba Fett's style of story. We get to tell them all, and you get to choose. So if you were playing Knights of the Old Republic, you really kind of had to be a Jedi fan.
Yeah.
But in Old Republic, you can be a fan of like any of the major characters.
Sith, yeah. Any of the Dark Lords. You get to expand on Darth Maul. I got it. All right, well, one of the major announcements at E3 is the fact that we get our own starship. Each player gets their own starship. Now, I know that you've already said that there's not really space battles, maybe in the future or something like that. So what do they function as? What are just a place to walk around, or what?
Well, right now, the only thing we revealed is that it's essentially filling the same role that it did in, say, Mass Effect or Knights of the Old Republic. It's
with the Normandy?
Well, yeah, it's basically your home base. It's where your companion characters are. You can get quests there. You can essentially store items there. But there are other exciting things you can do on the player starship that we're currently not announcing, but we will be revealing in the future, and they're pretty exciting announcements. So
you will tell me what else you can do.
Well, now that you put it that way, no. Well, hopefully it's because I don't have.
Well played, sir. Well, I tell you what, I'll just tell you, as a fan standpoint, it would be cool to see like maybe some trophies in our areas, or traveling the galaxy in our starship or something like that. But that's just.
Oh, you do get to. That's the thing. You do get to travel the galaxy in your starship. That's one of its primary purposes. Essentially, it's your.
To get you from planet to planet. Okay,
yep,
correct.
Yep.
Is there like any loading screens, or do you get to see like it's CGI? I'm going into space.
Or I can't go into details, but I can say we're trying to make it as immersive as possible. We want you to feel like you have your own Millennium Falcon and that you're going into hyperspace and traveling from world to world, because we feel that's a big part of Star Wars. Like that's actually, when I think about my dreams as a kid, owning a Millennium Falcon was actually higher on my list than owning a lightsaber. It was
wow. That is awesome. That's awesome. So how will loot be awarded? I am a huge loot whore. I love loot. How will loot be awarded?
Well, we actually have a whole bunch of different paths where you can get your equipment. You have the drops that you get from combat. You get your quest rewards. You have vendors that can give you stuff. You also have, for example, we revealed war zones. War zones will give you access to even other gear.
Like
PvP.
Exclusive loot in war zones only?
Yeah, stuff that's specific to PvP.
Okay.
And then for high-level content, obviously, we have talked about the fact that we're going to have raids. We haven't discussed exactly what we're going to call them or what they're going to be. But again, that kind of like high-level loot in those areas as well. So we have all these different venues for you to get your loot. Now, we don't want all the players to be looking the same. So what you saw there was kind of an example of what you would look like if you collected all of the loot of the same type and wore it. And there are advantages to doing that.
So it's modular. You can swap pieces. I got boots with I can be an Imperial Stormtrooper or whatever, all white, and then have different pink boots if I find them.
Yes,
okay.
and what we're trying to do, because when we were discussing loot during the design phase, we were like, we don't want to kind of have the haphazard appearance types that you often see in MMOs, because Star Wars, people have a certain vision of what Jedi and Sith and Stormtroopers and all that stuff is supposed to look like.
So there is a little bit of restrictions there, or?
No, we decided we'll make it, we'll put it in the players' hands by doing a lot of those, set bonuses and stuff like that encourage players to essentially collect the equipment that'll make them look.
So if you do kind of what you're supposed to and look like how you're supposed to, you're going to get some bonuses on top of it. But you can still mix and match and be a complete moron walking around.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're going to do that anyways, because what you're going to do is you're going to eventually get your super set of armor, and then you're going to find some pants that don't match your current stuff, but it's better. So for the people who really are trying to max out their statistics, they're going to put those in. So you're going to have the players who are halfway between their the lower level set of gear and the high level set of gear. Yeah. You're going to have the players who wait because they care more about what they look like than the statistics. It's going to be there's going to be all kinds of different players running around.
There's going to be plenty of badass loot.
Can
I quote you on plenty of badass? Go ahead.
We're going to have thousands of like badass
Badass
Luke.
Luke. All right, this gentleman right here. I've seen these trailers that you've done. These CGI trailers are amazing. If only we could get George Lucas to make a full movie out of this kind of stuff. It was done by Blur Studios.
Yes, correct.
Oh my God, it's amazing. So my question is, I'm seeing this guy a lot, and there was a Jedi counselor. So are these actual characters in the game that we can meet and fight alongside, or are these just CGI trailer guys?
No, we want the trailers to actually have to be representative of things in the game. So yes, Darth Malgus is a character in the game, and a very important character in the game. A character that recurs for all the classes. So every single one of the classes is going to come in contact with Darth Malgus at some point.
I'm gonna probably be. I'm still trying to decide, and you have to help me decide. I want to be either a Sith Inquisitor or a warrior. Now, Angry Joe, I'm imbued with the powers of Force lightning, so it would seem that an Inquisitor would be the way to go if I want to constantly be striking down my enemies with unlimited power. Right?
That's true, and you get to do that
but
quite a bit.
can I have Force lightning with the warrior?
Well, there's
Because I need Force lightning with the warrior if I want to be super badass in close combat. Maybe super high level.
Well, I can say this: the standard warrior doesn't use Force lightning, but he did in the trailer. So there's stuff that we haven't revealed yet that we might be talking about in the future that might explain that.
That is true. So there might be some subtle hints in the trailers if you check it out. Let's talk a little bit about the crafting system and this player housing. Are players going to be able to place structures in the world, and then through that, are they able to like craft and sell their wares to other players to create some sort of an economy system here?
Well, what I can say is, in terms of player housing, you do have your starship, which is kind of a home base, and in ways it is a version of player housing. Now, for crafting, we aren't revealing very many details about crafting, except that we do have crafting. I can say that having an economy is a very important part of MMO, and we've put a lot of thought into it, and crafting will play a major role in the player economy.
Examples. There's a recipe for creating a curved lightsaber thing like Darth, who was it? Dooku, Count Dooku. Let's say there's a recipe. Let's say there's a recipe for it, and we find all the elements, and then would that be, and then craft it, and then sell that. That's an example of crafting in any MMO previously.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Would that be in Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic?
I can't talk about exactly what kind of recipes we're going to have, but
you did say that crafting is there.
Yes,
and we got the definition of crafting.
Yeah, it's very close. It's very close to what you described right there. One of the things, though, one of our challenges was we didn't want we wanted crafting to be something that a heroic player would do, because we didn't feel that Han Solo would go out and be a moisture farmer, or like go mining for minerals, or do some weaving or something like that. So we have our crafting system is a little bit different in the way we're presenting it, so that it does fit with the heroic theme of Star Wars: The Old Republic. But we'll be talking about that again in the future, not right now.
Okay, cool.
Wait, Master, it's a lie. I haven't betrayed you.
I'm releasing you from my service. Eventually.
Stop! No! Ah!
All right, multiplayer dialogue. I've been wondering this for a long time. The demo, it was there, but I kind of missed what he said about it. They actually showed 4 people playing, questing together, and they were talking with a general who was talking to his troops, and a dialogue system popped up, but I was only looking at one screen. They chose one, and that's the one that's used. So let's say I'm with 4 of my buddies, we're all the same level. Are we all going to get our own dialogue options according to our character? Like I say, shut up, I'm Dark Lord and I'm the most badass, and another one says, yeah, sure. I pick that one, he picks that one. Who gets it?
Well, right now it's a role system, so each person has a role behind the scenes, and some of their stats can actually affect the role, like you bring it up or down, and whoever wins the role.
You actually have like a diplomacy skill or something that.
It's not so much a skill; it's some of your attributes, and like so if you're wearing different equipment that affect those attributes, that can affect your roles. There's other things that we're thinking about as well that are going to have an impact on how well you do in the conversation system. Now that's for all of the what we like to call kind of flavor choices, because there's a lot of flavor choices in dialogue where, you know, you get to be mean or rude or nice or whichever, but then there's choices where, you know, you get down to, am I going to kill this guy or spare his life? And those are really big important choices. So when those come up, it really is majority rules. So if you have a, you know, a party of 3, for example, if 2 guys pick one option to spare his life, you're always going to spare his life. Because while it is funny to have the one guy who's always kind of playing the role of, you know, spoiler and being the jerk, you don't want the jerk to, you know, kill the guy when the majority of the party wants to save him. So that's how we've set it up right now.
You know one thing that would hit this game out of the park? It's already sounding awesome being KOTOR 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, but and then world quests on top of that. It's like KOTOR 11. But what would hit this out of the park is space combat with those player vehicles, and you get different ships and capital ships and everything, you know? Would there be space combat in this game in the future, anytime?
That's something I can't talk about right now. I'm sorry.
Non-answers. You will tell me. God, fine. I didn't want to have to do this. You are the lead designer. The game may take a little bit longer to develop, but you make me mad.